Давай, давай, быстрее! There's enemy helicopter south of your first position.
As far as all the massive AAA FPS franchises go, it's hard to not bring up Battlefield in the conversation. While throughout recent years it lacked the same level of success as the Call of Duty franchise, Battlefield has consistently delivered big and awesome matches for fans that want something just a little bit more complex than the typical run and gun gameplay. If you want the biggest multiplayer war, Battlefield definitely comes in mind first for most people. World War I and World War II were the latest settings in the franchise, with BF1 and BF5, and while these were a clearly enhanced experience for the era, the World War fatigue is clearly happening right now as we speak. About 80 to 90% of fans would like Battlefield 6 in a modern or near future setting, and it's almost sure to be happening considering the timeline of games. While the Vietnam and Cold War is clearly something I'd like to see in Battlefield, the next Call of Duty is rumored to be taking place in Vietnam, with a bit of Cold War, and is releasing this year, so Battlefield would be behind again. Also, let's not forget EA is looking to bring a live service to almost all of their games, meaning Vietnam wouldn't be a right choice in the long run, but we never know. Would you guys like a Vietnam or Cold War setting? Battlefield 6 is officially confirmed for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and during 2021, so expect a huge upgrade in all the gameplay elements. While fans have long awaited a return to Bad Company, at this point Bad Company 3 is beginning to feel more like a distant dream than a possibility, though that doesn't mean that EA has to avoid the modern setting entirely. Battlefield 3 and 4 are still considered one of the best entries in the franchise to this day, and there are plenty of fans that would welcome a continuation of some kind. In fact, everyone's asking for it. For many reasons, Battlefield 5 didn't meet any of EA's sale expectations. First of all, because they did not give much care to historical accuracy, like adding Black Woman in Germany's theme, and the World War fatigue that had already started before its release. Battlefield 5 to this day could introduce plenty of brand new maps, but the player base will still feel like they've played it before. Staying in the past for Battlefield 6 could be the death of the franchise. So we're left with the modern setting or the future setting, and that's where the infinite possibilities lies. Because first, they're not stopped by historical accuracy, and second, they're not stopped by the current gen consoles. Now let's guess what improvements this new game could bring. Also, let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see. First off, the player count in multiplayer will definitely see a much needed increase. I hope to at least 100 players in a game. More players meaning much bigger maps, a lot of vehicles, and so much more fun. I'm thinking PlanetSide 2 kind of fun. If you guys didn't know, the game is a true open war game with thousands of players in a server, fighting over continents, and I think DICE could really implement something like this in Battlefield 6. Some kind of evolution from ground operations, where you have to capture huge cities or even countries at that point. Second, I want the Levolution feature from Battlefield 4 to return, but in a much bigger way, where some kind of random event happens throughout the map and changes everything. This would be a great way to change things up, alter the look of the map and the gameplay itself. Nothing has me more excited than being on a huge building about to fall off. According to EA, the new consoles will completely blow away the previous ones in terms of graphics and gameplay elements. The financial director of EA assured fans that they can expect some mind-blowing things from the next Battlefield. For EA, putting Battlefield back into a modern setting may also prove to be a way to win back some fans. Leading up to the reveal of Battlefield 5, there was a large part of the fanbase hoping for a game set in modern times. This is in large part due to the freedom it carries with it. There tends to be a larger, more diverse arsenal of weapons to play around with, not to mention a better selection of boats, tanks, fighter jets, and helicopters, all of which lead to combat that feels like it's happening on a much grander scale. It's pretty fair to assume the development of the game is already well underway, and with the last two games taking place in the past, there's a good chance that the modern setting is happening. It would be a really great start for a next generation Battlefield, as it is a battleground DICE already know of and is expert in. I would also love to see the return of campaign. I know some people want DICE to completely erase that memory of Battlefield single player, but I still hope they try again. We've seen how great it can be with Bad Company, Battlefield 3 and also Battlefield 1. With Battlefield 1, DICE had opted to include episodic short stories instead of a traditional longer campaign, which could work again with this one. Let me know. In which era would you guys like Battlefield 6 to be? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, drop a like for more gaming news on Battlefield 6 and subscribe, or dislike if not.
Objective Bravo is neutralized. Advise on a hostile AT soldier south of your position.
Thanks to Jigglyboy for being a master member on the channel. You can become a survivor member for 99 cents only. It'll support me and the channel as a whole. Thanks for watching.